So here we are with Raymond again. We're going to attach sources. The easiest way to do that is with these recorded hints that FamilySearch has provided for us. We're going to click on the first one. Now you can just left click on it. I prefer to right click and open in a new tab. It keeps me a little bit more organized. So when I open that tab, I see the record compared with my family tree. So on the left side again is the record and whatever information is held in the record. On the right side is whatever's in my family tree. So when it's finished loading, what you'll see is Raymond from the record matched up to Raymond from my family tree. We can add where he lived in 1920 to complete those years. And then we're going to attach the record to Raymond. From here, we're just going to go through and try to link everybody up as if everybody matches. So we have George here. We're going to attach George. We're going to attach Barbara. Now, once we scroll down, it gets a little complicated. In the video that you probably haven't seen, it was the first one I did without audio. That's where I came up with all of these kids. So when I did that, I noticed that the names were probably going to be a little off for whatever reason. And as you can see, the spelling on these names is a little weird too. So in the record that I found, I figured this name was probably Carl, but I put it in as is because I would just change it later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume that I was right the first time. It is Carl. There's a Stanislaus and a Stanley. They're the same. We don't have a Leo here. I've got a Lawrence. I'm going to grab it, I'm going to pull it down, and I'm going to match it with Lawrence. So all I do is you grab it and put it down, match it across. We have a Cecilia. They match up. I like to match everything up first before I attach. Agnes, again, grab it and pull it down. Match Agnes with Agnes. Then we have 3 additional people here, so this is exciting. We're going to be able to add 3 more names to our family tree. So since I started this on Sunday, I've been able to add at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 names just in 1 week. Isn't that exciting? I like that. So let's go ahead and attach everybody here. At some point, you definitely want to go back and clean up all these records. So we'll go back and change Carl to Carl instead of Rarl and Stanley to Stanislaus. This is how sometimes I get a little overwhelmed because I have so many avenues I can go down. It's hard to decide where I'm going to go and how I'm going to go. As a side note, we noticed that in 1904 Leo was born, but he's not. This is the 1920 census. He's not in the 1920 census. So either he is no longer living at home or he is deceased before 1920. Same with Mary. She was born in 1897. It's highly possible that she's married by 1920. She would have been, what, 23? But if she wasn't, she's not living in the household. So she's either moved out on her own or she has deceased. So when we start doing this a little bit more regularly, you'll get used to looking at those types of things. Alright, so this is where it gets a little really exciting. We're going to add our first name in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Add, and a little box is going to pop up over here. We're going to make sure the information is right. So if I wanted to change Carl, I could have changed it right in here if I'd wanted to, made it really easy for myself, but I didn't. You'll want to make sure you click living or deceased. I'm pretty sure this person is deceased, so we're going to click deceased. I don't have any death date or location yet, so I'm just going to click create new person, and automatically that's going to take the information from the record and put it into my family tree. It's so super easy and awesome. Now once she's in my family tree, we're going to attach this record to her. So we'll add where she was living in 1920 and we'll attach. I'm going to do the same thing for Frances and Helen. So I'll add Frances, change any information over here if necessary, mark her deceased, and create a new person. Once she pops up, I will attach the record to her. that a little too fast there. So let's go back, add, and then attach. And then one last time for Helen, we'll add Helen in there, mark deceased right there, and then create new person. Alright, so the ultimate goal is, before we leave the record, we want as much green across as possible. So it looks like everybody who's over on the left side in the record is matched up to someone on the right side. So that's exactly what we want. From there, I can scroll, exit out of that tab. If I'm back here, this is the cool part. If you look, here's their names. We end with Cecilia and Agnes. If I refresh that, when I scroll back down again, it's going to have all of the new people we just added. And there we go. Cecilia and Agnes were the last two. Now we have Mildred, Francis, and Helen. So that is attaching sources. I'm going to go ahead and do everything here, and then we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.